The big NHL news is that there's going to be a new CBA, 4-year extension, begins 26-27 season. It's going to be announced today, and they're going to be 84 games instead of 82.
In a couple of seasons, not next season.
Correct.
Is that going to mess up like with NFL adding the 17th game? You mess up records and all that stuff.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. Who cares? More money.
It is It's surprising though, isn't it? Because I don't know. I felt like if the NBA or NHL was going to make a change in schedule, they would decrease the amount of regular season games.
No, the NBA would, because their games are devalued. The NHL, everybody plays. It's not the same thing. Like you have competitive hockey because they're gonna remove 2 preseason games. Nobody goes to NHL preseason games, so you have a revenue opportunity. Players love to be out there playing. It's just apples to oranges.
Yeah.
The NBA could never, no matter what the stakes are, could never add games because the regular season is already meaningless.
So they added that little goofy mid-season tournament.
That's what they need to do, is add more, razzle dazzle.
Wow. Change the court color. What?
Yeah, exactly. What? 50 uniforms.
Change the court color.
I'm telling you, man, get rid of conferences, get rid of divisions. You play 60 regular season games. 1 home game against every team, 1 road game against every single team, or 58 games.
Yeah, but how are you going to lose 22 games of revenue?
You don't, because then you expand the in-season tournament. You stop the regular season for about a month and a half, and for an entire month and a half, you make up those 20 games with the in-season tournament. 1 home game, 1 road game against every team in your group. You make it all the groups based on what the divisions are right now. So you still end up playing the Hawks, the Hornets, all your division teams multiple times in a year, like you normally would. And then the top 2 teams from every group who win, just like the FIFA Club World Cup, advance to a knockout. And then you make up all those games with TV revenue through the in-season tournament. Telling you, it's right there in front of their faces. This is literally how it's done in Europe. Like, this isn't that difficult for soccer. It's how it's done.
Move to Europe then.
Solana, who'd you take that from? Who did you stay? That was
Nobody.
way too.
That was such a great dismissive answer. Go move to Europe if you don't like the American way.
Nobody. Crowder,
Solana,
I've been saying this for years.
That is too well thought out.
For years.
Well, he stole it from Europe.
Literally, this isn't a revolutionary concept, and it would make more sense. It would make more sense because guess what? The teams that don't care about the in-season tournament, okay, don't care about it then. Fine. But guess what? Fans, after a couple of years, are going to care about it because you stop regular season play and you tell people these games don't count for the regular season. But you have a chance to go and either get healthy if your roster is a little banged up. Okay, then you don't prioritize the in-season tournament. Some teams in Europe don't prioritize the Champions League or the Europa League or the Nations League because, hey, we'd rather have better success in, our actual league. Or some teams start off so poorly in the regular league, they know they have no chance. They prioritize the in-season tournaments. Like that it's strategy. It adds a whole new layer to what you're trying to do. It's not hard. They've been doing this for decades in soccer and every other continent outside the United States, North America.
You can take your helmet off when you have this discussion.
Well, the problem is Adam Silver would say, wait a second, why do I need to fix something when we're $1 billion industry? The problem is you're never compelled to do that until people actually stop going to games and actually stop watching the games on TV. So we all say the same stuff, but we don't change our behaviors. So they don't have any impetus to actually do something like that. I'm with them. It makes sense. And if they were forced to do that because they were actually losing revenue, they would be forced to do it. But to change everything when you're getting record dollars from TV contracts, like the bidding war for the NBA rights was insane.
Yeah.
Which is why TNT lost it. I mean, the numbers are mind-boggling. So they really have no incentive to do that. They have an incentive to tell you, oh, yes, we hear your concerns and we're trying to address the.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is they're making more money than they've ever made before.
Yeah.
All salary caps are going up. Every sport.
Yeah.
But Hawk, I mean, you would agree, like there could always be better ways to format a league, even if the league is achieving success.
First of all, like, a 25 game regular season would be better than an 82 game regular season, maybe a 50 game, but it's just conversation. If you're more successful than you've ever been, I always do it with Trump, when people would always go, oh, are you going to pivot to being more presidential back in 2016? And I was like, he just won the president. Why would he pivot now? You know what I mean? Like you just reached the mountaintop. Like I'm gonna change it now. And so I would submit to you the same thing with the NBA. While we all agree that the games feel meaningless during the regular season and there are ways to fix it, what is their real incentive to shake things up when they've never made more money?
You just said fix it. It's not broken.
Right.
Well, it is in a sense, though. It is in a sense.
Not in business wise. It's not broken at all for business.
Right. Yeah. But it could be better. Like the next TV contract could be more like greater money wise.
Right. But there's a percentage increase. And you say to yourself, if we get this percentage increase, then everything's fine. Now, if you set budgets and you don't hit budgets, that's when you start to reevaluate. And my guess is Adam Silver said, hey, when the next TV contracts are up, if we're able to get this, which they obviously did from NBC and Amazon, again, it just wouldn't make any sense to rock the boat, really.
Yeah. It's just, in my opinion, like divisions and conferences in the NBA make no sense. In the NFL, it does. But in the NBA, it makes no sense.
When you play everybody already,
You play everybody already, and the rivalries aren't the same because rivalries come into place based on who you play in the playoffs, and you can just fly anyways, no matter who you're playing in the NBA. Like, you don't need divisions anymore. You don't need conferences. Eliminate it. Get the top 16 teams based on a regular season schedule, and you're going to have a much more competitive product. But whatever.
Somebody texts in, the NBA is nowhere near the mountaintop. Ever since Jordan, they've been crashing and burning. You're just living in a world that you want to live in there. That's honestly your take. I mean, go look at the TV contract.
Hawk. That's your guy that's going to follow you on the Mervis conspiracy. So don't
right,
don't believe
right. That's
him.
My audience. That's my audience.
Embrace it. You're right, sir. You're right.
Facts are facts. Like, it just is. I'm not telling you I'm happy about it or not. And I'm not telling, but like, to think that, I mean, honestly, it's crashing and burning since
that's like the people who say we're not watching the NFL anymore because they have end racism in the end zone.
That's a narrative that you would, I'm guessing that texter, that you would love for it to be true. So you're saying it as if it is, but I am telling you, go look at the TV contracts that were just signed and tell me the league is crashing and burning, because it's comical. That's a comical take.
You see that, though. People are like, oh, nobody watches the NFL anymore.
Right.
Meanwhile, the NFL in the top 100 ratings book has 98 of them.
Right.
And it's more than just networks now. There's streaming. There's every type of different distribution, and all of them are billion-dollar companies. That's crazy to say.
Yeah. All right, guys, your weather from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm. Call them 866-954-MORE, youraccidentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Partly cloudy. Oh, Marlins are in Arizona, by the way. I don't think I've mentioned that on the show today, but 9:40 tonight, Marlins are in Arizona. They'll open up a 3-game weekend series on the road against Randy Johnson and the Diamondbacks. Your weather right now, 85 degrees, a little humid, and some rain as well.
Josh Beckett on the bump for the fish.
On the bump, yeah.
I was listening. I love
Juan Pierre batting leadoff.
All right, don't go anywhere. We're going to break down why the NBA is crashing and burning in the next segment. The guy texts back and he says, it's simple. Ratings. Look at the ratings. Go look at the ratings. 100% the NBA has crashed. again, it's a false narrative that you're creating because TV contracts are bought based off of ratings. Period. End of story. Advertisers and networks aren't stupid. They know how eyeballs and advertising works. Now, if you're suggesting that the share of viewership is down from 80s to now when Michael Jordan was playing, or 90s, yes, because there are more things to watch. But they don't sell advertising based on 2025 viewership versus 1991 viewership, because it was a completely different media landscape. So what you're doing there, you're convoluting an argument. I'm telling you, if you want to know if something's crashing and burning, look what they just got for their broadcast rights. And unless you think that every media outlet forgot how business works, then you cannot say with a straight face that the NBA is crashing and burning. It's illogical. It's literally illogical. So I appreciate that you have your own narrative and you would like for it to be true. It's just not. And it's the conversation that we just had. I would love for there to be a come to Jesus moment for the NBA where they reduce the number of games from 82 and do what Solana's talking about. But they don't need to, because they're not crashing and burning, as much as I'm annoyed by how the league looks on a night in and night out basis. I'm just telling you what the reality is. That's the reality. All right. Sorry. Soapbox.